بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وخليله من خلقه وصفيه ونبيه، أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة وكشف الغمة ونصح للأمة وتركها على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك ولا يتنكبها إلا ضال. فصلاة الله ربي وسلامه عليك سيدي يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Brothers and sisters, today, as a young man looking at our back home, what's happening these days, looking at all the tribulations that this ummah is going through, a young man like me would ask, what kind of future do we have? We want to see, what kind of family am I going to be raising? Where am I going to raise my family? And look, I wanted to know, where is the problem? What's wrong? Okay? So, just digging a little bit deep in history, in the recent history, in the ancient, in the last 200, 300 years, Islam has become more of a custom, tradition. It lost its spirit. And then, after the British and the First World War, Second World War, the British, the French, they divided the land, they tried to implant a lot of things. A lot of ideas popped up in the Muslim minds. What about nationalism? What about, this idea, that idea? They adopted communism, capitalism, and still this debate's going on till these days. And some people from the beginning, they said, no, we should look back into our deen, okay? And these had their own method, basically, about how to achieve that. Everybody, who strives for whatever good is, may Allah give him reward for that. But lately, when the Muslim Ummah said, okay, so nationalism does not work, communism is not working fine with us, even Russia fell down, capitalism, a lot of us, basically back home, they're not that rich, so capitalism is not a big option, okay? And then they said, what about Islam? And they looked into Islam, and they chose Islam, and chose the people who represented Islam at the moment. But these people, sadly, they did not represent everybody in the Muslim Ummah, basically, okay? So there became a division between Muslims among themselves. So where is the problem, basically? So I realized that what amount of Islamic knowledge do we have? And even the amount of Islamic knowledge that we have, it's all book chapters, and we just try it, okay? And we just read, we memorize. But what do we comprehend? Depends. What do we do? Depends, okay? So there is a big failure here. So where is the problem? Okay? And then Islam has always been about Islamic upbringing. And this is something that we've been missing for so long. The problem is, like I told you, in the last 200, 300 years, Islam has become more of a tradition. A lot of people, they just isolated themselves, the shuyukh. They isolated themselves from the community whom they should have delivered the message to, into their own, spaces, worshipping in the mountains. And then the Ummah was lost, and people tried to refine themselves, refine Islam. And the only place they were able to see that or to look for that is books. It's fine to look into books, but there is the Islamic upbringing that's missing, okay? So some of them, they got deviated from the right path way into the Khawarij of this time, into way extremism. And some of them, they were too easy, okay? We need Islamic upbringing. And the ultimate question comes, and I'm gonna talk to like as you. I'm not gonna say we, because this subject deals with everybody individually. Okay? And if everybody else didn't know that matter or don't have a relationship with who I'm gonna talk about today, okay, that doesn't give you an excuse. Okay? So I'm gonna talk as you. Okay? So what I'm gonna talk about today is basically is Allah. I'm gonna say you, because if I say we, we'll feel fine about it. But do you guys know Allah? Do you have a relationship with Allah? Yeah, if I ask you, who is Allah? Yeah, He's the one who, Allah created us. Okay, what else? When I tell you, have tawakkul on Allah, the first thing that people would say, yeah, Allah said, have tawakkul on me, but in the same time He said, take the asbab, take the means to it. Yeah, that's fine. But Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُم بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ. What that means is that a lot of them, they don't believe in Allah except with partners. Yeah, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we don't have shirk. Okay? We don't have partners with Allah. But we have the minor shirk, which is, I rely on my money. Yeah, I have money. Yeah, I'm having tawakkul on Allah. But deeply, our heart is with our money. I have family who will take care of me. Okay? Like someone tells you, tawakkal ala Allah. Yeah, I am. But I have a family who will take care of me. When you have a problem, the first thing you run to, your family, your money, your people, basically. Okay? Is that actually tawakkul ala Allah? So, why is that? And honestly, like these are the sickness of the diseases of the heart. Okay? So, we need to know who is Allah. We need to establish a relationship with Allah. And the best thing to start with is to get a perception. Like I'm gonna inshallah Rabbil Alameen, I'm gonna talk in hadiths and stuff like that, and I'll say this is sahih, this is this is that. So the Prophet ﷺ in one hadith narrated by Abu Dharr al-Ghafari, he said, ما السماوات السبع في الكرسي إلا كحلقة ملقاة بأرض فلاة وفضل العرش على الكرسي كفضل تلك الفلاة على تلك الحلقة. Okay, the Prophet ﷺ says that the seven heavens in the kursi. Okay, I don't want to say the chair because you cannot say the chair. We don't know what the kursi is. Okay, it's a name. The seven heavens in the kursi are nothing but a ring that you throw in a desert, basically, or in an open land. Okay? And the arsh, the throne of Allah, is the fadl al-arsh, the magnificence of the arsh over that kursi is as that open land to that halaqah. So basically there's a hadith that is da'if basically, but it gives us a perception. The Prophet ﷺ says that the earth is like a ring that you throw in a desert. And that desert is the first heaven. And the first heaven is like a ring that you throw in a desert. And that's the second heaven. The desert is the second heaven. And then he goes the third, the fourth, the fifth. So you can get the magnitude of size, like how it augments basically. And the sixth and the seventh. And then he says the seventh heaven is like a ring that you throw in the desert. And that desert is the kursi. And then he says the kursi is like a ring that you throw in the desert. And that desert is al-arsh. Okay? So we get a perception. Now some brothers, like, they would argue, yeah, we've gone to space and we've seen space. And some of us, like, they try to tame down the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ to suit whatever knowledge we have right now. We'll have a news for you, okay? We have not discovered everything yet. Allah says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحِ وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينِ. We have Zayanna is like we have made the first heaven beautiful by the stars. Basically he said like masabih, lights, candles. Okay? And وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينِ. Now the beautiful part about this, like, beyond the stars, all you see is darkness. Okay? And after that darkness, if Allah has meant to light up the floor of the first heaven, we would see it. But we don't see it because light does not reach us yet. Did not reach us yet. So everything you see, this whole universe, is below the first heaven. And you can get the amplitude. We got to space, yeah, and they tell you like the atmosphere, like the seven heavens are basically the atmosphere. Well, where's the masabih for now? And there's a lot of ayat talking about a lot of things, like you can debate against that. It does not work out. So, for someone who would imagine like, the throne and the kursi, Abdullah ibn Abbas says about the fruits of the day of judgment, like al-Jannah, rumman, inab, okay, nakhil, palm trees, dates. He says, "O people, the only thing you have of these fruits and vegetables in your dunya is the names, or are the names. This is the only thing that you have, the names. It's going to be something different than the day of judgment. But imagine if Allah describes to you, the Jannah has, let me say, like this kind of fruit, and you don't know what that even is. You will not feel attached to it, right? So the same thing goes here. Al-Kursi and Al-Arsh, there's nothing, these names, Al-Kursi and Al-Arsh. Al-Kursi is not a Kursi. Al-Arsh is not Arsh. And these are the creation of Allah. And these names are given, okay, so that we can, just something to relate to. Okay? Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anh, he says, إن الله خلق العرش إظهارا لقدرته ولم يتخذه مكانا لذاته. What that means is, Allah has created the Arsh to show His magnificence, His abilities. And He didn't take it as a place where He sits, basically. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. Okay? And one of the scholars said, and I love this, because to me it gives me so much peace, because why would God need a place to sit on? That doesn't make sense to me. Okay? Because He's God. He doesn't get tired. All of these are just to show the magnificence of Allah. Okay? He says, ما السماوات السبع في الكرسي. Oh, no, عفوا. He said, let me find it. Yeah. In تفسير الآية الرحمن على العرش استوى in سورة طه. He says, أي استوى كما أخبر وعلى الوجه الذي أراد فلا العرش يحمله ولا الكرسي يسنده بل العرش وحملته والكرسي وعظمته الكل محمول بلطف قدرته مقهور بجلال قبضته. It's just profound. It's really amazing. Okay? The ayah الرحمن على العرش استوى, it means استوى. I'm going to say استوى in Arabic because I can't say it in English. Okay? In the way He has mentioned, and on the method that He liked. Okay? But the throne does not carry Him. The kursi, it does not support Him. But the arsh and the ones who are carrying the arsh, the throne, and the kursi and its magnificence, all of this are carried by the hand of the lutf qudrati, of His magnificence, of His capability, of His ability, and all of it are makhurun, basically I don't want to say oppressed, but they're controlled by the magnificence and the highness of His hand. Okay? So why am I saying these things? Just, give us an idea that what we're dealing with is not something of a supernatural, superhuman power, because a lot of us are stuck to the material mentality. If I see something, then I believe it. Oh, it's there. I see it. Like, if you tell a person who has just come out of a cave right now, and tell them, you know what? We have things that fly these days. They take human beings from this country to that country, few hours. Look, man, stop fooling around. You're crazy. Go check a doctor. Why? Because we cannot comprehend this. Our mind is used to experience. If I see something, as babies, we start by, learning. Okay? You touch fire, oh, it hurts. You stop touching fire anymore. Why? Because you build up experience. Okay? We came from our parents. Our parents came from their parents. Okay? Plants. This plant came from a seed. The seed came from something different before. Animals. So the way Allah has created this creation is everything comes from something that comes before it. Okay? It does not go for everything. Basically, the kawakib, the planets, the legacies, they don't have parents, so they have different method. The angels, they don't reproduce. Okay? But still, even if you tell me, then what happened? So where did Allah come from? This is the thing. We're still thinking creation. Allah is nothing like His creation. I loved one time, I love to hear about like the new Muslim stories. And interestingly enough, this was a story of a man who was a Jordanian doctor who came here, after finishing his undergrad studies, and he came here. He was Christian Jordanian. And he came here, and he was in friendship with some Muslim guys who were not practicing. And then a vacation or a holiday came, so he went back to his family. His family was in Texas, so he went there. And when he came back, he found his friends, they changed. They became different. Okay? And they started practicing Islam. He asked them, well, why? What's going on? What happened? And then, he came to learn about Islam. He wanted to change. He wanted to become Muslim. And for that, his family kicked him out of the house. So he has nothing. He has no house, no family, nobody. And he says, I was going out of Texas nowhere, and the only channel I can find is just, those Bible channels. And he was listening to it. And he said, man, I'm crazy. What am I doing? I'm leaving my family, leaving everything. And he went to a motel room. He literally, it's not, we tend to feel safe. We love to feel safe. So he said, I felt like I'm kind of going to sleep, and I heard something telling me that قوة واحدة خلقت هذا الكون وقوة واحدة تسيطر عليه الرحمن الرحيم. I got really shocked out of this. It means one power has created this universe, and one power controls over it. Indeed, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most gracious, the most merciful. Now, the beautiful thing about when you talk about Allah, you cannot say a being, because being, it was not before and then it became, so it became a being. Okay? You cannot say a thing, because Allah is not a thing. The only description we can give Him is He is the ultimate power. Now, inshallah, Yawm al-Qiyamah, we will see Him, and we'll get to know Him. But our mind, we don't have imagination to imagine things that we cannot relate to our environment, basically. We cannot come up with something, out of nowhere. That's our human minds. That's why the human minds are limited. Okay? And I'm gonna just say this beautiful hadith. The Prophet ﷺ one time قام فينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بخمس كلمات فقال إن الله عز وجل لا ينام ولا ينبغي له أن ينام يخفض القسط ويرفعه يرفع إليه عمل الليل قبل عمل النهار وعمل النهار قبل عمل الليل حجابه النور. And this is what really just stumbled me. حجابه النور وفي رواية النار لو كشفه لأحرقت سبحات وجهه ما انتهى إليه بصره من خلقه. Can you imagine this? Allah has put a veil between Him and His creation, which is what the Prophet ﷺ saw in the Isra wal Mi'raj when he went to a place where nobody had seen before, which is a nur, light. Okay, that's His veil. And subhanallah, one scholar said, subhanallah, when we put veils, we tend to darken stuff. When Allah puts veil, He enlightens everything else. Okay, His hijab, His veil is light. Had He revealed that in this world, His magnificence, His majesty would burn, anything that His sight reaches, which basically is everything. His whole creation would burn. And to give you an instance about this from the Quran, when Sayyidina Musa asked Allah, oh Allah, let me see you. He said, oh Musa, you don't have the ability to see me. But let me show you something. And then He just let a little bit of His, His presence, His magnificence, I don't know what exactly. تجلى ربه للجبل. Okay? الجبل خر دكة. The mountain fell down. And Musa was seeing that. خر صعقة, like he was shocked and fell down to the ground. Okay? Now, why am I saying this? I'm not saying this so that we cannot come out of this knowing nothing. No, I have a point. And the point is, if you are on the side of Allah, nobody is against you. And if Allah is against you, nobody is with you. And realize that you are dealing with the ultimate power. Yeah, everything might look against you. Okay? But when Allah decides, everything goes smoothly in a second. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he was being persecuted in Mecca. His uncle died. His wife died. He went to Ta'if, and that was the most horrible experience for him. He went to Ta'if, and they stoned him. He could not imagine this. I'm coming to you with something that will make you prevail, and that will give you the best to you. I'm giving you the best to you, and you're just stoning me? And who's he? He's the best of creation. He was really shocked. One time, Sayyidina Aisha, like she asked him, what is the worst day of yours? He said, the day of your people in Ta'if. And he didn't make any comment about it. He said, when he was fleeing Ta'if, he said, I didn't realize myself where I was till I reached Aqaba something, I forgot the name of it. Basically like 6-7 miles away from Ta'if. Okay? But guess what? You see, everything is against him. Allah sends a group of people next year from Medina. Few people, like 6 people from Khazraj. They're not even known. And the Prophet ﷺ did not even recognize them. When he asked them in Mawsim al-Hajj, like in Hajj period, he asked them, who are you? He said, we're people from Khazraj. He said, which Khazraj? The Khazraj of the Yahud of Medina, of Yathrib? They're not known because like civil war has eaten them up. Al-Aws and Al-Khazraj. And the thing is, in that war, all the leaders of Aus and Al-Khazraj were killed in that war. And only new blood was there. The only one who survived of the old generation was Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. So these people were just, they've had it with all these crazy things, wars and blood. They want to see something new. And subhanAllah, out of nowhere, look what happened. And they were the most experienced people in war. Because they lived it. Okay? Allah says in the Quran, and Quran is the word of Allah. Realize this, we don't want to have the autopilot mode. Yeah, I know this, but do you imply it? Do you live it? We always go in salah, okay, autopilot mode. If you actually start concentrating, you'll forget what rak'ah you were in. Right? Allah says in the Quran, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. Indeed, Allah has promised, and that's Allah's promise, not a king's promise. If you get some king around you, like some man who's in power, oh yeah, I have him on my side. I talk to him. He's on my Facebook, right? So imagine if you have Allah on your side. Allah has promised those who have believed among you and did good deeds, that He shall make them the prevailing on earth, just like He has done for those who have been before them. And He will establish their way, their deen basically, for them that He has been pleased with, or He has chosen for them. And He will switch their fear after the fear into peace, worshipping me, not being scared of anybody but me, and they would not take partners with me. And Allah says in the Quran, وَكَانَ حَقًّا عَلَيْنَا نَصْرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And He says, إِنَّا لَنَنْصُرُ رُسُلَنَا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ وَإِنَّ جُنْدَنَا لَهُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ وَلَنْ يَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ سَبِيلًا. Allah says, indeed it was a right upon me, or upon us, to make the believers victorious. Another verse in Surah Ghafir, إِنَّ لَنَنْصُرُ رُسُلَنَا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. We make our prophets and those who believe victorious in this life and the after one. Another ayah, Indeed, our soldiers are the winning ones. And Allah says, Allah will not let the disbelievers have their ways with the believers. Then what is going wrong? It's us. We do not have a relationship with Allah. And Allah have the proud, the magnificence. If you don't want to have a relationship with Him, He doesn't want to have a relationship with you. But He gives you time. If you come back, He comes back. He comes back for you. And one thing I'm gonna say, because a lot of people, they just despair of Allah's mercy. And you know what? I'm a sinful guy. This is one of the best ways of shaitan to get us. Despair. Who am I that Allah will forgive? What is this? This is like a narration. It's not prophetic narration. It's one of the old narrations of the old people, basically. Allah says, يَا ابْنَ آدَمَ لا تخافن من ذي سلطان ما دام سلطاني باقيا وسلطاني لا ينفذ أبدا. يا ابن آدم لا تخشى من ضيق الرزق وخزائني ملآنة وخزائني لا تنفذ أبدا. يا ابن آدم لا تطلب غيري وأنا لك فإن طلبتني وجدتني وإن فتني فتك وفاتك الخير كله. يا ابن آدم خلقتك للعبادة فلا تلعب وقسمت لك رزقك فلا تتعب فإن رضيت بما قسمته لك أرحت قلبك وبدنك وكنت عندي محمودا وإن لم ترض بما قسمته لك فوعزتي وجلالي لأسلطن عليك الدنيا تركض فيها كركض الوحوش في البرية ثم لا يكون لك منها إلا ما قسمته لك وكنت عندي مذموما. يا ابن آدم خلقت السماوات السبع والأرضين السبع ولم أعي بخلقهن أيعيني رغيف عيش أسوقه لك. يا ابن آدم أنا لم أنس من عصاني فكيف من أطاعني وأنا رب رحيم وعلى كل شيء قدير. يا ابن آدم لا تسألني رزق غد كما لم أطالبك بعمل غد. يا ابن آدم أنا لك محب فبحقي عليك كن محبا. Allah says, O the son of Adam, I have created you to worship, so don't fool around. And I have given you your bounty, your share, your rizq, so don't worry about it. This is Allah giving this to you. It's written for you. It has been written there before you have been even created. Okay? If you are pleased with the share I have written for you, with the rizq I have given for you, I shall let your body and soul rest in peace. And you will be one of those whom I remember as one of those who are thankful to me. And if you don't be satisfied with the share or with the rizq I have given for you, then وَعِزَّتِي فَوَعِزَّتِي وَجَلَالِي, Allah is swearing by His pride and His magnificence, لَأُسَلِّطَنَّ عَلَيْكَ الدُّنْيَا, I will let this life chase after you, this world chase after you. You will be running in it, just like the beasts in the wilderness. And then at the end, you will not get but what I have written for you. But what else? You will be written with me among those who are not thankful. مذموما. O the son of Adam, I have created the heavens and the earth and didn't take me anything. Didn't make me tired. Do you think driving a loaf of bread your way will make me tired? Subhanallah. O the son of Adam, I did not forget he who has sinned against me. Do you think I will forget who has been obedient to me? If you're obedient, this is the problem. A lot of people, they are going towards Allah, they are following the path of Allah, but they're despairing. Why? Do you think you're better than Allah? If you're doing good, do you think you're better than Allah? You are doing good. Why would Allah punish you? Allah said in the Quran, ما يفعل الله بعذابكم إن شكرتم وآمنتم إن الله شاكر وكان الله شاكرا عليما. What would Allah do to you if you what would Allah do by punishing you if you believe and you have been thankful? And Allah indeed the most thankful and the most knowing. We have to change our mentality, dear brothers and sisters. We really do. So just to finish the translation of that narration. Oh, the son of Adam, I have not forgotten about those who have been disobedient to me. How about those who are obedient to me? And I am indeed a merciful Lord, and I am capable of everything. O the son of Adam, and this is important because we're always looking, what's going to happen in the future? I need some money, backup money. Allah says, O the son of Adam, I have not required you or asked you about the worshipping of tomorrow, the deeds, the prayers of tomorrow. So don't ask me about the rizq, your share of tomorrow. It will come your way. Don't worry about it. You will not miss one bite in this life that Allah has written for you. You will not die before then. Yeah, you might collect millions of dollars, but you will not use but that Allah has written for you. The rest is going to be, maybe your children will fight over it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه ويا فوز المستغفرين استغفر الله. نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. Dear brothers and sisters, you might see someone, okay, but you might think, you might give him, oh, he's so good, he's so nice, but when you experience his kindness, it's a totally different story, right? Why? Because you have experienced him. You have experiences with that man, okay? We need to establish experience with Allah. We need to say that when something bad happens to us, hold on, I know Allah is on my side. He has taken me out of my misery that happened this and this, such and such year. Okay? He has taken me out of it. We need to establish a relationship with Allah. We need to have faith in Allah. Faith comes from experience. How did the Prophet ﷺ come to say in the Ghar Thawr, in the cave of Thawr, in Hijrah, when Abu Bakr said, oh, the Prophet, if they look just to their feet, they will see us. And the Prophet ﷺ says, don't worry, Abu Bakr. Okay? مَا ظَنُّكَ بِاثْنَيْنِ. What do you think of two, whom Allah is their third? There's one concept that a lot of people fall in that, oh, prophets, Allah has created them like this. No, they were the best of creation. That's why Allah has chosen them. Otherwise, Allah could have sent angels to the ground. Why? Because, if He creates this man this way, then what is different between him and an angel? He could have sent angels right away. No, these people, they strived. And they strived their best. And they had the purest hearts. And that's why they became to that stage. And Allah has chosen them among His creation. Okay? So the Prophet ﷺ clearly has experience with Allah. He knows his Lord. He says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَن يُضَيِّعَنِي. Allah will not lead me astray. We want to come out, have experience with Allah. And know who is Allah. Establish a relationship with Allah. Because remember, at the end, if Allah is on your side, nobody's against you. They're irrelevant. If Allah is against you, nobody's with you. Nobody will give you any refuge. Because you and them will be destroyed. And read about the spiritual stuff. Because we don't want to have our deen only about, rules. Do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. No, our religion has everything. It has the rules and it has the love and the spiritual part. Don't miss any of them. If you go too spiritual, you'll lose because you'll deviate. And if you go too rigid, the Prophet ﷺ says the one who makes the Islam rigid, it will be the most rigid upon him. And I will finish with these lines of poetry in Arabic. I'm sorry, it's just they're so profound. It says, فَلَوْ شَاهَدَتْ عَيْنَاكَ مِنْ حُسْنِنَا فَلَوْ شَاهَدَتْ عَيْنَاكَ مِنْ حُسْنِنَا الَّذِي رَأَوْهُ لَمَا وَلَّيْتَ عَنَّا لِغَيْرِنَا وَلَوْ سَمِعَتْ أُذُنَاكَ حُسْنَ خِطَابِنَا خَلَعْتَ عَنْكَ ثِيَابَ الْعُجْبِ وَجِئْتَنَا ولو ذقت من طعم المحبة ذرة عذرت الذي أضحى قتيلا بحبنا ولو نسمت من قربنا لك نسمة لمت غريبا واشتياقا لقربنا فما حبنا سهل وكل من ادعى سهولته قلنا له قد جهلت. عباد الله إني داع فأمنوا. اللهم يا رحمن يا رحيم اغفر لنا وللمستضعفين. اللهم دبر لنا أمورنا وول أمورنا خيارنا ولا تول أمورنا شرارنا، أنت ولينا ومولانا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا توفنا مسلمين وأحينا صالحين وألحقنا بالأنبياء والمرسلين وآلهم وأصحابهم أجمعين يا رب العالمين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على الحبيب المصطفى محمد وعلى إخوانه الأتقياء الأنقياء الأصفياء الأنبياء والمرسلين وآلهم وصحبهم أجمعين، والتابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين، وجميع المسلمين من يوم أبينا آدم إلى يوم الدين يا رب العالمين. اغفر لنا وتب علينا وتول أمرنا وأنت الرحمن الرحيم. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، وأقم الصلاة.